I said, where is the reef? And, oh, that was destroyed 2 years ago in a hurricane.
Holy cow.
No. Oh.
So the reef was gone.
The reef was entirely gone, and there was just sand.
Oh, how heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking. I can't believe they were still selling tickets. That's
Well, I don't think they were promoting it. I think it was in my mind that it was there.
right.
And they did have a boat going to the Buku Reef. So
Right.
I just bought that.
Right.
We all
no.
bought the tickets
Oh.
on my say-so.
Right.
And I didn't know, except I thought, well, how come there aren't more
Many
people
people, yeah.
going out to the reef? But
Right.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, that is sad. Well, at least you got to see it when it was there.
yeah. I was on a plane one time, and I don't know why Dad wasn't sitting with me. He certainly wasn't. I know Ken and Ruth separated because Ken would sit in the smoking place and Ruth wouldn't in the smoking seats.
Was he smoking?
I think he was at that time.
Huh.
Yes.
I didn't know he smoked.
Well, that's quite a long time ago. He didn't since quite a while ago. But anyway, and I was talking to this he was a journalist, and I was talking to him about the different places he'd been, and I was inquiring him about this and that, and I was saying I wanted to see the Great Barrier Reef and decide whether that was, which is the most beautiful, the Buku Reef or the Barrier Reef. But when I did that trip down, I think it was Cape Town or Cairo, one of them, looking out to go to the reef. No, that was an Australia trip we took.
Mm-hmm.
That went out to the reef. And I was on the ship, and it had these tours you buy to go to the Great Barrier Reef, and we bought the tickets to go from the ship. But we didn't see much of anything, nothing compared to what I'd already seen other places, and I was very disappointed. But then I looked at afterwards where the real beauty was, way out here, and you had to actually go overnight to get to out where the
Right. So you went to the Great Barrier Reef, but not the big part of it.
No, I was smart enough to know that other people with me didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It was part of the Great Barrier Reef.
But it wasn't the main part.
No, it wasn't the beautiful part.
Yeah. Oh, so
And
you have been, though.
But I knew what it should have been, and they didn't know the rest of the reef that bought a tour to. They didn't realize that wasn't anything.
So what was the rest of Australia like? And you went to New Zealand, too, right?
Let's see, that came down there. We went out to Fiji. I didn't see a lot of Australia. We came down the coast where it's all built up. And that's only a small part. The great part is way over there. Then you go from there out to the little islands, to Fiji Island, and that little group, which is very different and spectacular and interesting to see.
Mm.
And how were we got with the Frenchman on that boat? I remember Fiji, and then we went by boat to Fiji, and from Fiji we got on this little plane, and it was a seaplane, because it landed in the water, and we got to this little island, and it didn't have a dock, actually. We landed on an island by plane. Then we got in a speedboat, and they took us out to this little island, way away from everything. And it didn't even have a dock. We got out of the speedboat into water up to our knees, and these great big Fiji Islanders were great big 6 foot, well, probably 7 foot tall, and all these muscles. And they just walked over to this little power boat we came in and reached in and got the suitcases, and then walked in the water up to the little houses that were very pretty and not very developed, small places. They were on the sand and not developed, but you had a little cottage yourself, and this little cottage was really lovely, right on the beach, and it had a porch in front and windows that went across and a door, and then it was open all around except across the back inside was a partition like that, and there were closets, and then behind the partition was a bathroom and a shower for you to, that was your only privacy in there. And then they had chairs out in the main room, and there were always flowers on the little table in the morning, and you slept in these beds right out in the main room, and you just changed your clothes behind it, and everybody could see, but there weren't people walking across from between you and the water. They went from the other side, so that you didn't have any curtains across the pool in front. You were just you and the water, and if you felt naked, you went behind the partition across the back, and that's where your clothes and the lavatory was.
Do you remember the name of the island?
Pardon?
Do you remember the name of the island?
I couldn't tell you right now, but... And there were other little cottages, and people stayed in that. Then they had one room, the restaurant was on stilts over the water, and the back of it was against the shore. So you walked in, and then they had an open place on the floor, and underneath were these different fish and lobsters and that, and you could point out what you wanted for supper that night, and they'd serve it to you. And the girls were all wearing little sarongs, and I think it was French, because I think they spoke French. And they handed you a menu that was on a wooden block and piece of paper on top of it, and asked you what you wanted, and then you told them, it was in French, you told them what you wanted, and they went out and brought you breakfast in. But it was never what was on the menu. So
French Polynesia, maybe?
Yeah, very much Polynesian, yeah. Polynesia, that's where it was. And the girls were very, very sweet, and they spoke French. They didn't understand you, and you didn't understand them. Well, I didn't, because I didn't know French. So they all had these big, lovely smiles, and all glowing in these lovely perus that they wore.
What that they wore?
It's a Pareau. It's a wraparound. That I think they just wrap them around and put a couple of pins in them.
Right.
Kind of like a sari or a
sarong. But probably more primitive. And the girls were always very happy, smiling, giggling. had the fellas all like some.
Right.
We girls smile at them too.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, the next morning I was going to be smarter. They didn't understand my French, so the next morning I pointed, I'll have this, and that on the menu. And they pointed this. And then they came back with whatever they wanted to serve.
So now lobster in French Polynesia, that's got to be rock lobster, right? That's not...
I don't remember it all.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't remember we ordered any.
Right.
Well...
Wouldn't have mattered